Hey everyone, thank you all for coming out. My name is Luke Drago. I'm the CEO of Workshop Labs. My co-founder right now is with the rest of our team in London, right now working on some of the tech I'm going to show you today, but it's a real honor to be with you all here in California. So we've raised our round, which means that I am not going to do a presentation on market size or our co-founding teams. What I want to talk about is what we're building, how you'll be able to use it, and why we think it might matter. We think that the bottleneck to AI progress runs through high-quality human data. You have that data, and that's a real advantage that the labs tend to notice. Labs right now are racing to get high-quality data. They're working with both internally and with lots of companies to gather that data for the last mile of automation. The kinds of tasks that aren't represented in the training data, but are still quite important to your day-to-day life. You know this if you've ever asked a model to write like you, or complete a task which is well outside of its distribution. Oftentimes, they just can't do it. Some other companies have chosen to exploit this in favor of those labs, racing to help them gather that data to automate you out of the economy. We view this as an entirely different opportunity. You have that data, and we think that we can help utilize that data on your behalf by training models that work and think like you on the tasks that you care about, while being able to verifiably guarantee that we aren't using that data to train a larger model or sell it to your boss to automate and replace you. And that's why we're working to train billions of models, one for everyone. We're not pre-training billions of models, one for everyone. Concretely, we're harnessing your data entirely privately, delivering the benefits of a model that excels at your work without giving someone else the keys to automate you. Now let's talk about how it works. First, we seed a model. We harness your data across as many sources as we can gather on your behalf, both on your device and in your browser. We capture your preferences, values, and behaviors to post-train an open weights model on your data. Second, we then tune a model, embedding it with your unique taste, insights, and judgment. We do this entirely privately end-to-end, encrypting in transit, decrypting within a trusted execution environment that we can attest is not exiting there, and delivering this back to you. My gold standard is pretty simple. If my co-founder can see my data, I've made a mistake. If my co-founder can use my underlying model to give it to someone else and automate me out of my job, then I'm in trouble. We hold ourselves to that standard, and I'll talk in a bit about what we're doing to ensure that's the case. That means that not our compute providers or our model providers or even us can see the data or the underlying model. Third, we help you benefit from this, using your model throughout your work, on your device, or in your browser. The benefit of this is that we can proactively learn from how you work, continuing to update a model that performs better at your tasks than another model of similar size or quality. Right now, I don't have tons to preview on our early benchmarks. We're still running them at the moment. But what I can say is qualitatively, we've been extremely excited about the results that we're getting. I want to walk you through how you would use this. Your model can write like you, suggest actions that you would take, and help mirror your judgment across a variety of tasks. It's good at the things that you do regularly. Our go-to-market USP is focused entirely here on writing like the user. It's an extremely validated consumer pain point, and we do this because we care about capturing your judgment and values and distilling that into a model. We think that writing is a byproduct of that we're quite excited by, but we're really excited about is models that have your values deeply innate in them. We also have built tool sets out so that this acts proactively. We don't think that chatbots are the futures. We want your model to work in your desktop and your browser to make proactive suggestions. It's always learning, continuing to gather information entirely privately to learn from your behaviors. The more that you use it, the better that it gets. The goal of this is pretty simple. By offering a compelling competitive experience that doesn't involve giving away all of your data to a lab that's trying to automate you, we can help capture your data for your benefit without writing you out of the story. I want to talk a bit about what we're currently working on from a feature perspective. There's a couple of things. First, we're very early in this. We just raised our pre-seed, but I wanted to preview what we're excited about models like these. Like I mentioned, our goal here is to distill that information directly into the model. And eventually, we're going to use these models to complete tasks like you across a variety of domains, but today we're starting with writing and augmenting your work with you being completely in the driver's seat. First, I can show you how we're handling this upload. Here's a screenshot of our UI that we're building out right now to make it extremely intuitive for a user to connect all of their data sources into one place, both dragging information that's on their device and connecting it across a variety of locations. The benefit of this is the user knows how much data needs to go in to make a model fully understand their work. We analyze this on the user's behalf and proceed to training when there's enough information. We're working on automating this process as well so the user doesn't have to figure out these are the kind of correct pieces of information I need to be uploading here. From there, we, like any good provider, have a chat function that can connect directly to your workflows, looking over the things you're already working on, helping you prioritize what's important, selecting the tasks that matter to you. We're also excited about proactive integrations. And in particular here, we're excited about having a model that can help you write in your style, proactively recommending text based on what's already on your page in your voice, understanding both the context with which you write the thing you're currently writing and everything you've written both before and what you care about. We're not just excited about writing, we're also excited about prioritizing the information here. So I've sent a wonderful email to my co-founder saying, if there's anything you'd have to say to the audience, what would it be? Unfortunately, this is just not time sensitive for him to fill out. We need to have some more engineering things to work on, so we've prompted him to respond to that first, because we have entire context on what he's working on and can proactively recommend this. Our impact case here is threefold. First, we're ensuring that you control the AI that automates your work. We think that a more tool AI-shaped world, where no model is king, but many models have specific skills powered by their user, is a better one for each individual, because no one can use our tools, the tools you're using to automate you, but you can use it to automate or augment your own work. If you get automated, we think you should own and control the tools that automate you, and you should reap the reward from your labor. We also think these models have strong benefits in being safer. We aim to use the user preference data that we gather to align a model directly to each user. We think this is a safer path and a significantly easier alignment target than a larger set of human values with which models have to make complicated trade-offs. We think that in aggregate, this is a safer approach. And it's distributed. We, alongside other key thinkers in the space, think that everyone should have a model that can uplift them, advocate for them, and help them compete. In doing so, we aim to take a chunk out of risks like graduate disempowerment. And one of the graduate disempowerment authors happens to be our advisor on this project. Don't take our word on privacy. We think that we're gathering a lot of user data. It should be the case that we can't see it. We've inked a partnership with a company called Tinfoil, who's in the audience, to build private training and inference infrastructure so that nobody can see your data or model except for you. We're building this out entirely custom such that we can attest to the fact that this information is not going to be used to train a model to replace you. This is a core part of our impact story, and it's one of the places where we think we can really deliver a different benefit to the user. We think the value of privacy has changed and will change in the era of automation. In the last 5 years, what privacy kind of bought you was worse ads. If you really cared about user privacy, maybe you had a worse experience on social media. Now there are edge cases, dissidents, etc., but for many users, it wasn't a significant value add. We think today, giving away the data to the last mile of automation might help automate you out of a job. And so the price of privacy has become higher. We think by being first movers on this and educating consumers about this while just delivering a better experience in their work, we can help set a better standard for how we're handling this data. Speaking of, I mentioned at the beginning that I wouldn't talk a ton about our investment, but I will say we had a pre-seed round earlier this year, about a month or two ago, which had some names you might recognize. Our pre-seed was backed by a lot of leading firms like Character Capital, who used to be the former design partners at Google Ventures, whose books you've probably read, Cosmos Holdings and Brendan McCord's Cosmos team, OVO Fund, Juniper Ventures, and Seldon Lab, with angels from Apollo and Anthropic and Madrona and USV. We're really thrilled to have those people on our cap table right now, and we're excited about what's to come soon. But in the meantime, what I care about is how you can use this model. We are targeting a Q3 2025 release. You can sign up today at workshoplabs.ai/waitlist and get on the list to use a model that fully understands your behavior across a variety of domains. We think this is a model that can better support and assist your work than anything else. The final thing that I'll say is a core part of our mission is simple. We were very inspired by figures like Anthony Guar about keeping the future human. We're about to enter this world of very vast intelligence, and we think that the winner of the intelligence age shouldn't be a few people sitting on top of a $1 trillion empire. We think the winner of the intelligence age should be you. And that's the vision that we're excited to be building towards. So thank you all for coming out today.
Nice. And we have time for a couple of questions. Maybe I'll start.
Please.
Yes, thank you. I'll take that privilege as the host.
Fantastic.
Yeah, one thing that's interesting with your case is, of course, that it's somewhat unfamiliar territory for traditional AI safety research and so on.
Yeah.
It's more of this economic argument and the disempowerment of human labor and the centralization of capital and ownership of the means of intelligence now, right?
Yeah.
And how you've published in Time Magazine, got a lot of attention for this thesis as well. And how has that shaped your product journey too? And where are you taking this in relation to traditional AI safety?
Great question. It's something that I cut from the deck, so I'm glad I can talk about it for a bit. So my co-founder and I, before this, and before some other work we had done, wrote a paper called The Intelligence Curse, which argues that if you can automate people out of the story entirely, if you can actually replace people out of the environment of economic production, the outcome doesn't look very good. It looks like moving the incentives towards increasingly powerful companies and against regular people. And we have examples of states like this in places like the Democratic Republic of Congo or Venezuela. We call them resource curse afflicted states. They're states that just don't rely on regular people for their economic activities, so they choose not to invest in them. It means that the future where we automate all labor and suddenly get post-AGI communist utopia, and I'm not sure that's utopia to be completely clear, but it's not the case that you suddenly walk in and just get that every day. The incentives aren't aligned with that. In that paper, we recommended a bunch of items for how to steer the future better, and we wanted to build a part of the, we think, a very neglected solution space, the threat model. And so that was part of the inspiration for our company, and it was a core part of how we thought about trying to actually build our way out of really tough incentive misaligned problems.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Yeah, right there. Oh, sorry, yeah, anyone's fine. Yeah, please.
Quick question.
Absolutely.
Given you're based in London, do you know Imad?
Pardon me?
Given you're based in London, do you
Yeah.
know Imad? Imad Mushtaq? Stability AI guy?
Yes, I'm familiar with him.
Okay, he has this thesis, always talks about everybody should have their own...
Yeah, we're in contact.
Oh, all right. So he's
Yeah, we're in contact.
How would you make that happen?
Yeah, so the vast majority of our costs, and we were pretty surprised by this, are incurred at inference as opposed to incurred in post-training. Fine-tuning of models has gotten actually pretty cheap over the last year or so. There's a lot of interesting stuff we're doing there. I think we're having some, I can't talk a ton about what we're doing within the models, but I can say that we've been pretty surprised at how cheap this has gotten. We're both doing post-training and then working with what information is in front of the model in a given amount of time. And this has been what's been very helpful at replicating a user's style and judgment. So I can't say a ton about what we're doing on the back end. What I can say is we'll be competitively priced with the medium tier subscription of most of the major lab providers. And we're working on a free tier as well, but don't have that sorted yet.
Great. Last question. So a big part of the pitch seems to be that privacy elements. I'm curious if you ask some customers how much they value that privacy, if they could get 20% or 50% discount for letting you use your data. Is that a...
Yeah, it's a fantastic question. So I've joked that we're a privacy-second company, in that we don't lead with our value being we're a private alternative. I think there are plenty of providers who are doing an excellent job leading with that market, and I think it's a very good customer base. What we do is we say, here's what it's going to take to be able to augment your work in this way, and this is the amount of data, and customers are extremely reassured in our conversations with the way that we're going to handle that data. If I have all the data about a task, I can, if you're a company like Mechanize or someone similar, use that data to automate you out of a job, and so we think it's really important that from an impact perspective, we can't see that underlying data. Now, a small subset of our alpha users for our initial tuning are outside of that enclave because we're working directly with them, we're signing agreements with them so that we can't retain the data, and also proactively compensating them for being out of that enclave. But that's not something that's actually in our release pipeline. It's solely a testing measure. Yeah.
Great. We'll let that be the last one, I think.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.